Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you. Wherever you are, whatever time it is when you listen to this, welcome to my channel. Alright, one of the cards that flipped out was the official person card. So I'm thinking, but this is the nine reading, right? Life Path 9. Hey, Life Path 9, how you doing? I hope you guys are doing okay. You guys are a special group, right? Because everything ends with you, right? So you might see a lot of endings or a lot of things that might stop around you. That's not necessarily a bad thing, right? It's not nothing to be concerned. We're not being concerned, okay? Or you shouldn't have any concerns in regards to it with the wealthy man, all right? But not all readings are going to resonate with everyone. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. That simply means that this reading isn't for you, okay? And if it don't fit, don't force it. Just relax, let it go. Just 'cause that's how you want it doesn't mean it will be so. If it don't fit, don't force it, okay? Like Path 9. Alright. And some of this other stuff is given is how one wouldn't teach a wealthy man, or how one wouldn't be concerned about a wealthy man and them not being on the path within being in the community. One of the things that's kind of going on is how a person would try to play into someone's fears, but fear is something that is in your hands. And this is what I mean by that. Only you can determine what you'll be afraid of and why you will be afraid of it. Okay? It's kind of what that's given. Family room is given like give every like that whole being crowded in one space in a family room, and then there being a main female courthouse journey. In short, what it is that would be going on up within there being a female in a courtship, being a main female in a courtship, or being a female in a relationship in a courthouse along the journey. Some of this stuff that is given is now part of it would be that going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. That's part of it, but the other portion of it is what happens when you dating somebody and that upsets another individual along your journey. Life Path 9. That's what that's given. That is definitely what that is given, and how in this wealthy man situation, how one not being concerned about them not being on the path in the community, that is given space, the family space, so to speak. The other thing that this is really given is going to be about what constitutes as wealth, and not how one will be seen as wealthy in a community, but they wouldn't be on along one's path. How one would be concerned how someone would take a journey or make the journey. Something that's kind of coming up is how this main female there would have to be some legality, so to speak, in the courtship about the journey, with them being included in the family. That's something else that I'm picking up on Life Path 9, okay? Because it's two different situations that's going on. One is surrounding the community and the wealthy man, and then the other one is surrounding the main female and the legalities and yeah, and being a basically it's not saying it, but what it is to be of high honor. All right, in a courtship. Now, one of this other situation, right, that's coming into place is the training. Paying attention to the training that comes within being a main female and with courting an individual. Courtship is something completely different than dating. Dating is when you have a lot of different options and a lot of different people that you talking to. Courtshipping is something different because that is intended, that is gone into with the intention of marriage or commitment. So even if this is something that, if you're looking at this for business, if it being a part-time situation, or if it's for a relationship, it's not necessarily part-time. That's more of a commitment. If you're looking at it for a relationship, if you're looking at it for business, it'll be like a part-time job, so to speak, because you're just getting to know them, right? You're getting to know the person, or realistically, it's not as much time that's taken in a situation. And then there being the supernatural, and is beginning with this food journey, right? Taking this whole leap of faith in yourself and what it is to look at the supernatural and take the leap of faith on you. All right, with this king, sorry, with one rushing in with their inspiration as a tradition. Got Sagittarius and Hierophant reverse. This is, yeah, as an older man coming in as an older gentleman or more experienced, riding, moving fast in their inspiration as a tradition, and what inspires them, and the fast movement with one not acknowledging the transcendental spiritual truths, and not being a Taurus. In regards to one not having movement 6 days ago, one not having movement, and winning at all costs. One of the things that keeps happening is whenever this win at all costs, you don't know what cost it is you're going to have to pay in order for you to win at it. So I don't typically like looking at it that way, but I do look at it as shifting the thoughts of what spirit is and where spirit comes from, and then there being love as the burden, or love is what would be weighing heavy in regards to this Queen of Pentacles, one who's emotionally stable, the emotional stability. Some of this is going to be about if you're dealing with Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, Aries, Leo, Sag, Rising, Sagittarius, Sun, Taurus, the gambles, the torso Taurus, the gamble that comes into place with being emotionally stable, or how some people would see a person's emotional stability as a problem or a risk. So, Life Path 9, pay attention to what makes you stable. You can't really worry about what other people are doing. You got to worry about what you got going on. Okay? Now, for the cross watcher, right, you may need to get yourself together too within the spiritual contract aspect. Because in a spiritual contract, it causes for there to be, in the tradition and within the transcendental spiritual truth that comes into place with things, the incoming transcendental spiritual truths that will be coming into place with things, it'll be about how fast you get something done. And then inside one's mind, their wishes not being fulfilled because there is this imbalance of happiness. Life Path 9, the problem that I'm seeing go on in this spiritual contract, or what will be said or written or whatever, what have you, is a person being upset because somebody else is happy. It's one of those, how can you be happy? It'll be the, how can you be happy without me? But the reality is, every person should be able to find and have and hold their own happiness. That's that portion. The other portion of it is, it wouldn't have been about September, but it would have been about October. The imbalances that came into place in October. And with the initiation of the supernatural. How a person would only get what they want if they sad or depressed. Y'all in their own mind, y'all is crazy. That's unnecessary. Yeah, that's giving mutable madness. Pride and leadership. And then the eagle, spirit, integrity, and connection to the angelic realm. This eagle been coming up a whole lot. The beautiful thing about eagles, they are a truly majestic animal. They truly are. And they are very resilient, and they is given. Why hang with pigeons when you're an eagle? Eagles fly alone. 10-10, as I said that. Now, the thing is, pigeons and all other birds can eat off of what an eagle would have killed. Do with that what you will. Especially vultures, because they eat off of scraps and carcasses of meat. Now, other types of birds, like eagles, are one of those birds that can eat meat, and under dire circumstances, they may have to eat, like foliage and shit. They don't really talk about that too much, but under dire circumstances and in dire circumstances, that happens with any animal. It's either you do this or you survive. This is realistically what that's given. The lady of the gift, generosity, receiving, withholding, and then there being this influence of wealth. So there, when a person has a lot of gifts, the pride and leadership that comes when you have a lot of gifts, and you have to maintain emotional stability, like Path 9, okay? And that eagle came out right with, because that's the spiritual integrity and connection and to the angelic realm. You have an overall essence of love. Love, they say love will make you do some crazy things, right? And in the winning at all costs, you got to pay attention to what it is that you willing to spend, especially in that whole torso portion, what constitutes torso Taurus, right? The shadow aspects of Taurus essence. Okay. In short, you gotta operate out of what's best for you. With all this Taurus essence coming in, the spirit, the stability and practicality, being stable, practical, understanding what basic needs are and how basic needs change over life, over the course of a life. Within this Knight of Pentacles, the influence within this Knight of Pentacles coming, and it being about one coming in with an offer to shift one's inspiration and their willpower up, and the conflict of one not making an offer, the community not making an offer last year, and then there being this reconciliation within one not walking away. Reconciliation in one's heart within one not walking away and not having an abundance of emotions that were hidden, but being fruitful as a lover, and the tower moments that come with the collecting of information of one not waiting. Okay? So I'm hoping that helps you guys out just a little bit. Life Path 9 gave you a tad bit of an inclination as to a few different things it is that will be going on. If you like to schedule your own personal touch of clarity, you are more than welcome to do so at Lightwork and Lightwork LLC at gmail.com, okay? Because see, remember, light work, it ain't light work. It is not light work. It's not light work. And that's why you have to stay light while you work